Hi everybody, Ron Lummus here, and today we're going to review and look and open the box on a 1-inch transmission raising kit. The 1-inch transmission raising kit is designed to lower your VW. I know it sounds strange, but if you raise the engine and tranny up in the car, it will in effect lower the car. And if you're lowering the car, then the center of gravity gets better, the front end gets more caster, the windshield angle gets laid back. There's a lot of advantages to doing it. It solid mounts the tranny for performance sake, and it's just an all-around good way to go. We sell hundreds of these every year, but people often ask me, how do you do the install? Well, we're going to cover that later when we go out into the shop. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little segment which we're calling What's in the Box. So right now, I'm going to open up the box, and this way you'll see exactly what you get when you buy a 1-inch transmission raising kit from Ron Lummus Racing. So let's open the box. All right. What's in the box? There we go. Well, the first thing you're going to see is how good our guys pack these boxes. You can see that there's a little instruction notice in there. If you didn't get the right parts, please let us know. Everything is wrapped up for the journey so that when it gets there, you know exactly what you've got. So this is what you get in the box. Handy dandy instructions. Read twice, please. And there we go. All right, now that we've got the box open and all the product out, we're going to show you what all of these products do and how they're installed. Very first, you have this front mount that is the locator mount for the front of the pan. This mount here is going to go onto the pan as a locator only. You'll notice there's no holes here. So it will not bolt to the nose cone, but it's just simply in place so that when you slide the tranny in, it has a place to stop and rest so that you know you're putting it in right. That's the first thing. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to look and you're going to see this laser cut mid mount that's 3/8 of an inch thick. It's actually a very thick part. You can also see that it has on the sides little grooves that are going to go right in on the frame rails of your floor pan. So on the sides of your frame rails, it's pinched and you can see a little flat area. This is going to ride in here. So that'll go in like that. Before you can put this in, you need to install the longer studs, and we've included the longer studs. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. The longer studs go into the lower 4 bolts of the transmission, and you can double nut the old ones to get them out and install the new ones. The new ones are needed so that we can get the extra thickness for this mount. Once you've installed the studs, then you can loosely put this on. Now I have to mention that when you put this in, when you look from the back of the car, all the RLR logos should be clearly seen. So if you have it this way and you're looking at the back, you've got it in backwards. Only 2 ways it can go. So that's the only way it can go right there to be right. So you got that right there. Then you have your rear mount. Same thing, logo points towards the back. These 4 bolt holes will bolt into the transmission. These 2 bolt into the frame horn, and then you're off and running. Now you should put everything together loosely first. Don't tighten anything up. And then when you go to slide everything in, remember, the nose cone is going to slide up and it's going to bump against this. This is going to be removed after you're done. There's no need for this in the car. It's just simply a locator. And this mount here, on some of the pans, it's a little tighter or a little looser. It just depends on your year of pan. So you may need to clearance a little here or even in where the little pinch part is on either side. But you'll know you're home when you arrive at that stop. And then you can just weld it on either side of the deal. Well, of course, you got to weld it all the way around, but either side first, it doesn't matter. And then once you've got it all the way in there, you can just weld up with a, just a regular old MIG welder. It'd be fine. I would not get it too hot though, because when you get it really hot, it tends to want to pull the frame rails in. So again, all the logos should be pointing in the right direction. So you're going to see, like, how's that? Let me see if I can get this right. There you go. Like this. How's that? That's even better. Little comedy action. So yeah, once you've got it installed right, you should be able to get your car down that extra inch, and the camber on the wheels should straighten right back up. They would be like this, then they'll be like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a trip out in the shop and just actually do like a more hands-on install, and I'll go over the length of the studs and some of the other things. But if you have any questions, you can call us or you can email us at info@ronlummusracing.com or 714-630-2091. Peace. Hey everybody, how you doing? Ron Lummus out here in the shop like we promised. We already went through what's in the box, our 1-inch transmission raising kit today, and today we're going to show you what's going on with the installation of that kit, how to put that on. So let's get started here and let's see what's going on. So here we have a Type 1 transmission like most of you do. The first step is going to be after you've unloaded the box, we're going to take and we're going to get these lower studs out. These lower studs right here, we'll show a close-up of these later, but basically the easiest way, I've already done the work of getting them out, but you double nut them and then you take them out of the deal. In the kit with the new studs, this is the difference between the studs. As you can see, there's a pretty good amount of difference. If you can see the difference in the height right there. And that's just to take up the difference of the mid-mount, which is going to be our saving piece keeping your transmission alive. So once we've installed the new studs, you can double nut them and put them in. And the riding is going to go towards the back of the car. So you're going to install that on the tranny. And then you're going to put the nuts on. Now, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to use just regular nuts so I don't have to run it down in the nylock for time's sake. So once you get all those nuts on there, then you're going to basically take the transmission and you're going to turn it over. Now, obviously, don't try to do that if it's a complete tranny. Here we have our bulkhead bracket that we're going to show you how to install so that you get your transmission in line front to rear correctly. This is our rear mount that you're going to bolt into the frame horns, but first things first, let's get it bolted up to the transmission. Oop, yeah, we'll just edit out stuff. Oops, sorry. Ow, that hurt. That's going to leave a mark. Once we've got all the hardware installed and we've got all the bolts in, just hand tight, then we're going to take the assembled unit and put it into the car. But first, remember this bracket that I told you about, the bulkhead bracket. Now we'll go and show you how we're going to put this in. As you can see from the back of the car, this chassis is prepared very well, and this bulkhead bracket should just go right on. Now this bulkhead bracket is just a locator, so it doesn't have any holes. You're not going to mount it to the transmission nose cone. It's just there to provide the correct front to rear clearance when you do install the transmission so you know where to stop. That mount is just put in there as a guide. Obviously you can tell there's nothing in here. Oh, one thing, if you'll notice on my kit, it has these little slots right here. These little slots go right on the wings of the frame horns of the pan, so this can install really easily. Okay, put that installed. Now we just have to get our two frame horn bolts, get those started. Sometimes the threads on these are a little boogered up, so you may want to just double check and make sure the threads are in good shape. So here's the two mid mounts that are the weld-in mounts that go with the Type 1 and the bus. And so you can see on the side, this is just a locator so that it doesn't want to fall out. And then the weld is going to be right along the side of the front and of the back. It's the same with the bus. So basically, after this is all installed, you're going to weld up with a MIG welder, both sides, both seams, and there you go.